Mike, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Now, Mike, NXGH Group is targeting the unbanked and the underbanked market in the U.S. with a suite of financial and communication solutions. Let's start the interview off with a brief overview of the business.
The business is really kind of our grassroots in telecommunications, moving that and converting that composition into a financial product subset that not only yields a savings to the consumer, but a more multi-threaded customer base that we can grow into the future.
What's the essential value proposition, Mike?
Basically, our target demographic, again, the Latin demographic, is really fixated on a fixed income every month. And what our value proposition is, with using our ubiquitous product and plastic card, debit card, reloadable card, and all our value-add propositions that are enabled onto that card not only saves them money, but it also enables them to play into the financial market that you and I are accustomed to with debit cards and online payments.
You recently signed a couple of letter of intent to acquire some key assets. Can you talk to us about the Ozzy Group that you announced in the first quarter? What will this acquisition do for the company?
I think Ozzy Group is really a very complementary product subset. It basically takes our cost of acquisition. Again, our product is plastic cards or reloadable debit cards in consumers' hands. The acquisition brings down about a 70% cost of acquisition to that yield. So basically, it's the plastics that we subscribe to enable to the retailers and distributors around the United States.
And now you also announced a letter of intent to acquire Telecom, which is a leading global telecom. Can you tell us more about that business and what will it mean for NXGH Group?
Yeah, Ozzy is about 14 to 16 million euros or US dollars worth of revenue. Telecom is about 124 million worth of US revenues. And how that is really keenly fit into our proposition also is our rewards matrix or mechanism is to reward our customer base with long distance minutes. So obviously, if we have that in our back pocket at such a width and breadth, it's advantageous to the consumer as well as our product subset.
Now, taking a look at the numbers, revenue was up substantially in the first quarter. Net income, 3 cents per share. What's driving that performance?
I think it's a couple of components. I think one is we had a key acquisition about almost a year ago that really contributes to basically shaving off or yielding no burn rate for all intents and purposes. Add to that complement, you have the component that we took off $1.8 million worth of debt and converted some other some notes that we had from our founders into shares. So that basically kind of cleaned up the balance sheet and put us in a posture to have an 811,000 profit quarter for the Q.
Now, what milestones should investors look for in the remainder of 2017?
I think executing on our LOIs to actually close those acquisitions and moving that into the product subset that's going to yield not only the $150 million worth of annualized revenues between the three companies, Ozzy, Telecom, and NXGH. And I believe that composition and that revenue with a projected $5 million EBITDA will have a nice, compelling reason why investors should invest.
In summary, why should investors take an interest in NXGH today?
I think, honestly, if the investors and the public community would take a look at the contracts that are already been executed, what we're actually bringing on into our product subset, and the multi-threadedness of that complement, and the thirst and the need for that product subset to enable the underbanked and unbanked segment, I think that fundamental would have any consumer and any investor both of interest to our product subset. This is something that's not that we're thinking about executing on. This is something that we actually executed on in regards to our financial products and our gift card components.
Mike, thanks for being on the show today. We look forward to hearing more from you and NXGH Group in the future.
Thanks so much for having us.